I'm streaming.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Corruptions.
Can you watch my stream?
Wait.
Oh. Oh.
Why is YouTube so slow now?
Oh.
Hey, don't do that.
Hmm?
Don't do that.
Do what?
That.
Do what?
Oh, she went.
Watch my stream.
Wait. Why is it flooded?
Show up in disk drill, at which point you can begin to scan for files. Then once the scan is completed, all you do is preview the files you're recovering, then select them, and then disk drill does all the heavy lifting for you. And within the span
Wait. wrvwrgvwsgwsg uploaded a new video.
Volkswagen?
Huh?
Huh?
This guy. Look at it, it's 15 seconds ago.
Okay.
I'm a geology major, a real rocker. This paper is the last thing standing between
Winchester Cathedral, you're breaking me down.
One thing that always bugged me about stereo VCRs and other video devices with stereo sound, like video game consoles, is that you don't get a stereo RF output. This Fisher VCR from November 1984 proudly proclaims it has stereo TV audio, and it has large indicators on the front panel to show you when it's receiving multi-channel TV sound in either stereo or bilingual, better known as Second Audio Program or SAP. That's how you could hear The Simpsons in Spanish. But just like all later stereo VCRs, if you had it connected to your television via the regular coaxial cable, even if your TV was stereo, you only got mono sound, both from pre-recorded movies and from programs you recorded yourself. Of course, for the best quality, you should use the VCR's AV outputs, but you needed to have the antenna or cable input loop through the VCR anyway to be able to record TV programs.
Now I need your help to get back to the year 1985.
And for most people, the quality of the RF output was more than good enough, except you don't get stereo sound. After all, both VHS and Beta are below broadcast TV quality, so the tape was the limiting factor, not the quality of the RF connection. And even TVs which did have an AV input didn't always make it the most convenient to use. On some early models, to select the AV input, you needed to tune in a random high channel number, like channel 91. Who's going to remember that? And if you want to use an external RF modulator, you have to be careful. Just because they give you separate left and right audio inputs does not mean they give you stereo sound. They just combine the channels together to mono. And unfortunately, there was a lot of misleading marketing going on, with some RF modulators falsely claiming to be stereo, even when they're actually mono. The input is stereo, but the output to your TV is mono. Just to prove it, I have one of those modulators that was advertised as stereo on the packaging. And when I have it hooked up and tuned it in, I do
What?
get a signal, but right at the top there, the TV says mono. And disconnecting one of the two audio plugs makes no difference. The sound still comes out of both speakers equally. Even Philips engaged in this marketing deception with their RF modulator, which had a sticker on the packaging saying stereo output. And true stereo available through your stereo receiver or home theater. Only on the back of the packaging did it make it clear that the alleged true stereo output is not through the RF output to your TV. It was through a separate set of RCA audio output pass-through jacks to connect to your stereo receiver, which if you had, you probably wouldn't be using an RF modulator anyway. So it may seem like the only way to get actual stereo sound through your TV's antenna jack is to use a commercial-grade rack-mount blonder-tongue agile modulator. And the strangely named company will still gladly sell you a brand new one today for $2,228, not including the cost of the stereo option. Now here's a Radio Shack RF modulator, which at first glance doesn't look like anything special. It does say stereo RF modulator on the top of it, but as we've seen, that doesn't necessarily prove anything. Here was their ad for it. No AV inputs on your TV? We'll hook you up. Problem: you want to hook up a DVD player and a video game to a stereo TV without input jacks and get true stereo sound. Solution: Radio Shack Stereo RF Modulator. Here are your digital components the way they were meant to be heard. And true stereo provides two sets of stereo audio-video inputs plus an S-video input. It includes stand for space-saving vertical setup. Connect as a price was $39.99. On the back it has the typical connections we've seen before, except they're gold-plated. Ooh. Has a permanently attached power cord, left and right audio inputs, composite video input, S-video input, an antenna input pass-through, channel 3 or 4 selector, and the RF output to your TV. When you plug it in, it lights up stereo in blue, and it has a second set of inputs on the front, which you can select with this button, which illuminates front on the display. It came with a stand to mount it vertically if you want, and that blue stereo indicator stays on all the time, but if you're not currently feeding a video source into it, the modulator shuts off so you can use it as a pass-through. Now I have it connected to my TV, and when I tune it in, the TV actually says stereo. You can see right there on the top corner, stereo. I tested it out by connecting the modulator to a DVD player and using it as a CD player and listening to the music through my TV's headphone jack. The stereo separation isn't quite as wide as what I remember from broadcast TV, but it's still certainly good enough to achieve a full stereo effect of the mod. I'll use my VTune Pro.
Narcogeesic films. Yeah. Everything, you know.
Leo's working hard.
Well, there's 2 videos in here, so these could be it. So let's go to.
So as you know,